funny how we say when we are growing up and we don't have the luxury of the big old house and the cars and all these things that define riches. We didn't have those things, but you know what we had? We had the whole big property that we could run around with, whole lot of land, and that's where we go when we were little girls, and all of that. And you trying out a new thing. You have the whole bush. They used to call it Greenfield Hotel. Wow, it was beautiful growing up, in the community where I'm from. Oh my God, I'm on camera wiping my mouth. Yeah. So I had my for me, I had my mom, I had my dad, I had my sisters, I had my big brothers. I was the youngest one, so I was a little bit a brat, because my mother would spoil me, spoil me. My sisters used to be so pissed off with me sometimes when they see how my mother would love me. But I was a baby. She called me Wash Billy. I was born in Jamaica, so I still have the accent here. Even though I lived in this country for 40 something years, I still have my Jamaican accent. I can't say anything you want me to say in in Jamaica. But I'm a Christian. First and foremost, I'm a Christian. I love Jesus, and I try to stay in chuck, not chuck with him. So a lot of times temptation comes your way, but you got to know that the Holy Spirit lives inside, and the Lord called us our heart to temple. So I was growing up in Jamaica. And my father was a self-appointed preacher. He was what do you call a missionary. He appointed himself, just like what I do sometimes. I didn't know the Lord was going to call me for the same thing, and so my father would go out there and pray with people, and he would come back home, and my mother was had her own school. There's a lot of students now who are doctors and nurses and police and all of that. My mother taught them in her own school. She had her own school. And I always beg God to give me some of that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that my parents had. Oh my goodness. They used to ask me, Mom, she used to say, Mom, what you gonna do? You can't do nothing. You can't read that well. You can't do this that well. What you gonna do in life? And I said, Mom, I'm pretty. I do I do I find a way to live. People will love me for who I am. That's what I thought. A little kid growing up, you don't even know better. But she would push me to go and learn something and do something. And they always teach us about God. Always in the mornings. They would wake us up early in the morning, and they would teach us. Sometimes I was fed up. I didn't want to do it. And our entertainment was church. We had to go to church every Sunday. And those times, it was good though. It was cool because all the other kids in the community was doing it, and it was a lot of us. And we are not like the kids these days. We have iPad and stuff like that. Our plaything was the earth. We play with the earth. We play with ants. We play with anything that birds, stuff like that. We would go to the farms, and we would cut cane, and would eat cane, and we would pick oranges, and we have food all the time. Sometimes we don't have money to buy meat, but we would have fish. Fish was cheaper, and so we would have fish like 5 days a week, 6 days a week. We would have fish, and then on Sunday we would have the big nice meat. And I heard somebody talk about I was born in Jamaica, James Hill Island, and I left there and I went to Canada, and from Canada I came to the America. I came to America, and my boyfriend and he came a little before me, and he kind of set it up when I came behind him. He died now, poor thing. Poor thing. He dead. I miss him still. My son's father. So he died 3 years ago in the pandemic. And it was sad. I cried. I'm the one who found him dead, you know. And it was very, very painful. Oh my God, I cried. I went to Jamaica, and this guy saw me, and he said, "I know you." He saw me in a place called Mandeville, and I was just shopping for some stuff, and he came into the shop too, and he said, "I know you from Connecticut," and I said, "Yeah, and I know you. I know your husband too, and he died." And then he started talking about, and I just couldn't hold the tears back. I cried like a baby because even though we at one point we weren't together no more, but we were best friends. Yeah, over the years, we spent 30 something years together. From the time in Jamaica and here, 30 something years we spent together. So for a long time I've been with him, and I have two sons for him. So it was and he was a singer. He was a Jamaica reggae singer. Woo! And we used to travel all over the place in Jamaica and here and abroad too. It was beautiful for one night, but he was so jealous, was stupid jealous. But we had good fun time. But the truth is, Jamaica was the best place I ever lived. The best place I ever lived. Believe me when I say that. And it's not because of money. It's not because of food or anything other than just togetherness. There was a lot of togetherness there. People were friendly, and we couldn't wait for we hate nights. We couldn't wait for daylight. We would find our friends when it's not school day. We would find our friends, and we would play on the trees. We roll on our buttocks. We did all kind of beautiful things. I heard a lady came on the other day. She was talking about she was born in Jamaica, and she experienced hardship and this, that, and the other. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, my district, you was born in a Femi district and experienced some kind of thing there? No. I mean, even if the house wasn't big and it had leak on top or so, no big deal. That's what she was saying. Oh, our house was leaking. Oh, so what? Everybody's house was leaking at that time. Nobody had fridge. Nobody had TV. Nobody had those things because those things wasn't there yet. Afterward, everything came. But and when I was growing up, we didn't have these things. Only rich people had these things. Rich people. In my community, there was like three people who had cars. You go there now, everybody have a car parked up in their yard. It's a different time, different time. And she talking about, oh, we didn't have this and we didn't have. Oh, girl, shut up. Keep your mouth shut because Jamaica, we didn't have money. But we had everything else. We had our own house, our own land, our own food. We had chickens. We raised up with the chickens and the dogs and the cat and the mice and the roaches or whatever it is. We were there. We had spring on our land, like more than one spring on our land. We could get water at any time. If the pipe outside wasn't working, we could go to the spring and get water. Our parents had us, doing the right stuff. We never get into trouble, nothing like that. It's one sometimes you have to thump down one picnic at school. You have to thump them down, like poof. You know, I just said what I just said a while ago. I said it in Jamaica. So sometimes you have to bust asses, bust backside. Then I don't want to say ass because a Christian don't use words like that. So I bust buttocks. Like, I would fight if they want to fight me. I would fight back. So Jamaica was good. Jamaica's a beautiful place. I love Jamaica. Oh my God. Is there anywhere like Jamaica? And then we used to go to the rivers in the morning, our friends. We all used to go to the river and we wash. And then when we finished, we strip naked and we bathe. And the guys, and we used to fling stone down there. Like they come up on the hill. The river that we used to take our bath was down. And they would go on top. And then we down there taking baths. We didn't care. Sometimes we was just afraid that they might hit us, but they throw the stones. They threw the stones around us, not to hit us. But we were naked and they were having good time. It was now. They would be taking pictures. But it was a beautiful time. Yeah. So girls, shut up and stop talking about my district like that because it's not like that. Trust me, it was beautiful. hmm You come here to America here. America is okay, but it's lonely like hell. It's a very lonely, lonely country. Nobody wants to know you, and you don't want to know them. It's like you're afraid. You walk in, nobody look at nobody look in the eye at no one. Go to the shopping center. If you don't know somebody, you go there. You come back home. You don't speak to nobody the whole day. If you don't have friends or family, you don't talk to nobody. It's a very lonely place. It's a beautiful place, but a lonely place. But the money, the dollars, everybody wants it. And so that's why people crowd this place because they want money. Can you imagine a dollar in Jamaica? US dollar in Jamaica is 100 and something dollars for it there. But still, for all the same thing that it would buy here, a bottle of water. That's that's wait a minute. The same thing that it would buy here, a bottle of water, is the same thing it buys in Jamaica. So it just converted, but it adds up to the same. hmm Well, I just give you a little history. I have a lot more to say, but I'll say it another time. God bless you.